All right. Should be live, but it's always weird when I'm doing it like this on the phone. So we're live on my phone, looking at my phone, basically looking at a screen capture on my phone here. And like the title of the video says, I am going to go over to Instagram and I'm going to steal CloverTac's picture. And then I'm going to edit it, and then I'm going to post it on my channel as a repost. So a couple of different things here to introduce people to, and we're going to head into the Instagram application. Instagram's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's okay. And so CloverTac, a friend of ours over in Texas, just posted this picture. It's a pretty cool picture. Accumulation of firearms, some ammo underneath it, and these cool steel targets, right? So what I noticed, though, is it's dark. And I don't know if he just was in a hurry or something, but we got an opportunity here to lighten this one up. So there's a couple of different ways I can steal this picture from him. I use an app called Repost or something like that. And you'll see it in a second here. And I can steal it from Instagram and then put it into that reposting app and then repost it, or I can just steal the picture. So I'm going to do both. First, I'm going to just steal this picture off of the phone. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but I think I can do this while I'm live. I'm going to swipe my entire screen. And I don't know if you saw the edges of the screen, but on my phone, and this is different on models of phone or whatever, brands and stuff, but do a screen capture. That's what I just did, is I captured the screen, and his picture is pretty much predominantly on the screen. I'm going to move it up just a little bit so that I don't know if it's going to capture all these comments and stuff. But I'm going to take a couple of, it doesn't cost nothing to steal this picture a bunch. Don't want to do that. It doesn't cost nothing to steal this picture a bunch of times, so that's what I'm doing. Quit commenting for a second. How do I get rid of these comments? All right. Get out of here. Get out of here. There they go. Okay, now I've got a good picture. Now you can comment all you want. So I've screen captured the picture off of the phone. Now a second way that I can steal this picture is I'm going to click these little three dots and I'm going to choose copy link. So that's put it into my phone's notepad or something, right? So now I'm going to leave the Instagram app. I'm just hitting the button on my phone to go to the desktop. So here's my desktop. I'm going to go find this other app called Repost, and it looks like this. When this app opens up, it's going to show me the last picture I copied the link from, which is Clover's. And now when I click on it, it's going to give me the option to, because I'm paying for this app. Oh, thanks. Clover sent me the picture, but I'm showing people how to just steal it in case you're trying to just do it from the phone, but thanks. So this app, I had to pay for this functionality. I think if you don't pay for this app, it's just always going to leave this little CloverTac tag on there. Now, when I'm reposting my own pictures, I remove the tag. That's bullshit if you're taking somebody else's picture. So you can leave it here by default, but what I like to do is move it over to this corner, the bottom right corner, because then if somebody else steals it from me, they can't accidentally or inadvertently or intentionally put my tag on top of Clover's. At least it's a little more difficult. So this gives Clover some credit. Now what you can also do is flip it over to dark if it'll look better. In this picture, I don't know if it really matters for this particular picture, so I'm going to leave it like this. Now I'm going to hit the repost button at the bottom, and now it's going to take me over to Instagram. It's going to open back up my Instagram account, and because I can connect to 5 different names on my Instagram, it's going to go to the one I was in last, which is the gun websites one. And now I'm going to go to this little blue arrow, and now I have a couple of options. So I can use these default filters, and this is what you do if you shoot 9mm, or maybe if you're an infant, or if all of your fingers have been cut off. But if you're a grown human, click on edit and move to these individual filters. And now I like to go all the way to the right and find this one called shadow, and watch how magical this one little filter is going to be. It's got a slider here, and I'm almost always going to move it to the right. And watch what happens as I move it to the right. Boom. It just gets rid of all the garbage, and it really brought out that little Taurus and all the grip. Let's go back and show you what it was originally. If I go the other way, it gets worse. But if I go this way, see, look at that, the Walther and how it pops. How the muzzle on the the Ruger there, and well, you know, the bread is a 9mm, it's always going to look the same. But you can see what I'm doing there. So I'm getting some real, I guess that's shadow out of the way. I'll hit done, and then I like this highlights right next to it for whatever reason. These two really work in harmony, so you can see that brightens it up without washing it all out. So that's 2 little swipes with my finger, and I've cleaned up that picture. Now I can also go over and adjust the brightness. Sometimes you can give it just a little knock. You go too high and it starts to wash it out. So just a little bit of brightness there. And then consider contrast. I usually just wiggle contrast to see if one way looks better than the other. Honestly, here this is all preference, so I'll just say cancel. And now one other thing that I like to use is saturation to really blow out color if you're going for an effect, or for this kind of thing maybe, pull some of the color out of that, like brass or something, just a preference. But these are some of the tools that I use the most are shadows and highlights. These two are the 90% of my work, and then brightness and contrast can kind of amplify those. Whenever I'm done, I'll just hit next. And I don't have the original picture to show you from there, but that's, you know, it's going to repost his picture with his tag, but now I've brightened it up a little bit. I don't know what you guys are saying in the comments. I'm not used to this, so they're just showing up on my screen momentarily. I don't have a chance to read them. Well, thanks for watching, I guess. You should be watching this on gun channels. YouTube sucks. YouTube hates your guns. So now I can type in something here. I can either type something in, or I can just hold down on the screen, which is going to bring up my clipboard, and I can hit paste. And it adds Clover's description, verbatim, puts these 3 little dots, and then says repost CloverTac. So there you go. So if I'm reposting my own, I'd go up and get rid of this stuff, right? So that it's, you know, you're not wasting time. But this is Clover, so that would be douchebaggery. I would leave all that Clover stuff in there. But I'm not. I'm going to actually back out of Instagram. Actually, I'm just going to discard that draft. And now I'm going to just go back to the desktop, close out of everything here, and let's start back into Instagram, like if I just jumped into Instagram, right? So I showed you one way to steal his picture using the repost app, right? Now I'm going to show you the second way. Remember, I just took a screenshot of my phone with his picture on the phone. By the way, this is Maj. He's out there doing impromptu gun education on the streets. Talk about awesome. Go check his shit out. Anyway, now I'm going to just add an image, right? So I can add an image by clicking that little plus sign down there. And what do you know? The images that I stole off of the, you know, I screen captured are the images that are here. And you can see a couple of times, well, I don't have it on gun channels. I just feel like I should always scold people for watching on a platform that hates our rights and hates us. I'm doing this live on the phone. So anyway, I'm going to go back to this picture, which is about the best. You can kind of see where the edges are there. So this is a screen capture of my phone that's in my gallery down here. You can see I got a whole bunch of different screen captures went. So this is not a repost. You'll notice there's nothing in here that gives credit to CloverTac. I've literally stolen this picture. So I'm in Instagram, and I've chosen this picture for my gallery, and now I'm going to hit next. And now I can go to those same steps. I can use shadow, and you can see how shadow brings it all out nice. Highlights gets nice and clean and white there. A little bit of brightness, and maybe, I don't remember if I ditched the contrast just a little bit. So the difference is no credit to CloverTac on this one. So this is a little lame way to do it. This is, you know, thievery, but it gets the point across that there's 2 different ways you can amplify a message. Now, if CloverTac had a different picture here, if it was like, you know, a complete picture that said, check out CloverTac's channel or something like that, blah, 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 I could steal it with a screen capture like this and repost and not be being a douchebag. But anyway, I'm going to go to next as if I was just stealing it from him. And then because it's in my clipboard, I can still click paste because I had done the repost, and I could put that in there, but I don't want to do it this way. So I'm going to go back and just close out of Instagram, start back in under repost again. That's that. What happened? Oh, it's because I've already reposted Clover's. I have to scroll down and look at my already been done folder. So these are a bunch of ones that I've got kind of prepped or hanging out in the software for years. And then the last one that I did there was earlier today. I did because it's Kalashnikov's, the day the Kalashnikov died. And then here's Clover's. I can repost it again. I just, you know, it went down into my already posted folder. I'm going to move his name over to the bottom right there. Yeah, I don't like to run watermark apps, but that's true. There are watermark apps. So now what happened here? Okay, so now I'm back into Instagram, and I'm going to go to edit, and move my little thingy there. Move this over again. Move this over. Now, this is technically douchebaggery because I'm taking his picture and I'm modifying it. But I'm acting like I'm educating people, so now I can do it without any repercussion. But normally you probably wouldn't want to edit somebody's picture when you're reposting it unless you've got some kind of relationship with them, right? But anyway, just reposting his picture now just so that, we don't just abuse him over there. And then let's put in Texas because that's where he's at. And we'll tag him because that's just decency. CloverTac. Let's tag Gun Gals in there too. Why? Because that's how the internet works, man. Reciprocal links are how the internet knows that we're legit. So you can either just go through the paces, or you can take the time to button things up, and you're creating a stronger internet underneath of everything there. Let's just throw Gary in there for the hell of it. And you can see I'm just typing in names and then hitting find, or the little question mark thingy there, and then we'll throw Gunstreamer in there too. I saw them pop up. So now we're giving some links out to people. Let's throw Autoloader in there because he likes to take pictures of guns. Boom. So now we've added some tags there. We'll click next. And I don't have Facebook on my phone, but if you did, you could share. That's probably an efficient way to do it. And then we'll click share. And now I've stolen this picture, I fiddled with it, and I'm sticking it up on my channel. And let's see, there's the picture that I just posted, and there's Clover. So that's why I wanted to do the video. It just seemed a little dark, and that Taurus and that Walther seemed a little dark, and it was an opportunity to show you how these filters work. Use these platforms. I didn't do anything here except use my one finger. How long did this take? And I did the picture like 3 times. You have a platform out there. You have a voice on that platform. You have the power to amplify others' messages. You can do nothing and sit around as an audience, in which case you're just creating data for the Facebook and for the Instagram and for the YouTube to use to charge people to sell you shit. Or you can poke your finger around and be part of the process. You can have influence on what society deems important, since a lot of times they're looking at social media for that input. Be part of the new media. Thanks, Clover, for letting me screw with your picture. Head over to gunchannels.com. Usually Dead Horse has some sort of chat going all day. Never Enough Ammo does some kind of thing today. I think Yankee will. Yoder, Texas, always posts the Come and Talk It radio show, a syndicated radio show out of Texas you can listen to. Gun Gals will have their show later on. Somebody else has a show, and then Midnight has his show later, and we follow it all up with the van chat tonight. So if you like listening to people who give a shit about the Second Amendment, that's what Gun Channels is all about. Check it out.